Hello, welcome to Tae Kwon Do training. I'll be your instructor for today's show, Bob Lemire. Again, we're going to work a little on the bow staff. Very basic, as I always do. I don't do anything too advanced, so that if you have a stick at home that you can find around the house, we can do some basic exercises for self-defense or even attack. This is a small one, okay? As you can see, it's not very big. And I'd advise, if you're going to start training with it, keep it fairly small for, so you can handle it, all right? If not, it might be, sometimes people want them head level. You can work your way up there, but start with something very thin and light. And something like this you could even keep in your car in the back seat on the floor and stuff. It's great for self-defense. What happens with a staff or any kind of weapons, you got to watch what you're doing, especially if you have little children that want to train and stuff, because you can really get hurt very quickly. All right. The point is, you get hit with this or any part of the stick, it's going to cause a lot of damage. All right. So be careful. You have to be careful, especially if you're working out in your house. You don't want to be taking lamps or mirrors or light fixtures out because if you don't know how to handle it, it can leave your hand. I get nervous with all the equipment in the studio. There's cameras everywhere, lights. Boy, if I made one mistake and it left my hand, we'd lose some equipment. So I try to keep it real basic for everyone at home and for safety-wise. What we're going to do is, there's so many different ways you can attack with the staff. I'm going to show you some exercises today so that you're holding it like this. All right, instead of this way and long and whatever, that's one way. We're going to hold it this way or this way, all right, so that we have some mobility. We can use that for blocking. We can use it for attacks, all right. And if you block with something like this, and say someone's throwing an attack with a knife or even a punch, you hit them with this, you're going to break something. It's going to break bone because this is hard, all right. So you have to watch it. As I say, if you're with your friend and say, "Oh, attack me," and you can't. There's no second chances. They're going to get hurt. All right, basic. So we're going to hold it this way for a start. All right. So try to get equal parts on both sides. And now you're in the middle of it. All right. You got a better balance. All right. Let's just start with something basic, and we've done this before on the show many a time. We've been doing a lot of shows, but I'm going to start with the basic, then we'll work up to something just a little more advanced. So you're going to be attacked. You have the staff in your hand, all right? You're holding it like this as they're coming. Now notice, the minute I ever say someone's going to attack you, notice where I go. I go right into my stance. Right? I don't stand like this. Again, I don't stand like this. I get into my stance. Now I got some balance. I can get some movement. I can throw a kick. I do whatever I want. So someone's going to attack me. I'm here. They want to come down with a stick or a knife or whatever they have in their hands. Right? See how I just come straight up? All right? And I'm not just raising it. I'm coming up like, as you practice, you get the hip jog. You snap. You're snapping up here. Someone's coming down and you snap up there and you get their wrist. You're breaking their wrist. Then easy front snap kick. When their wrist hits this and breaks, all right, they're in shock for a second. Then you do a front snap kick. Then look at you. You're ready for any kind of attack. So you're here. I kind of like when I'm in a left fighting stance, if I'm holding a staff like this and I want to use it, notice how I'm going to point it with my left fighting stance. I'm in a right fighting stance. All right, so I want as much mobility as I can get. And if I'm bringing my hands here, I'm not dropping my hands here, all right? Same thing as when you're doing this. My hands are here, and they're ready. Everything's loose. Right? And you practice. How easy is that? The high section block, all right? And you've got so much to work with. Hopefully you don't hit your hands. They're coming down trying to hit you in the head. So you're coming this way. You don't have to go way high. Go above your head. Same thing as if you're here. They're coming in. They throw a kick. Boom. You block it. See how and that now You know how we punch? Look at it. See my hip? All right. So that's a block. I can have block this way. They're coming in, they're going to throw a roundhouse punch at you. You meet that roundhouse punch. They're going to get hurt, and you're blocking, all right? So you're here. And see how I extend. I'm extending, right? I'm extending. I'm not fully extended, especially high, all right, or even low. Again, have that slight bend in the last second. See, there's a slight bend in my arm. Have that slight bend, all right, so that you're not constantly aggravating your elbow. And you get your tennis elbow, you know what I'm saying? Once you start really doing a lot of hard exercises, especially if you're not used to it, you can irritate your tendons and your muscles and even your elbow itself. Try to hold it back just a little. Get stronger before you go really crazy with full force. Give your body a chance to get used to it. All right, so that's easy. You got a couple of blocks like this, right? I'm here. I'm holding the staff here. All right, so someone comes up. They want to come up, and that's why it's great with this. If they had a knife or they had a pole or a stick or something, and I have this, they're going to come down here. Once you get this up here, all right, and you've blocked, you can swing it over. And so once their hand's here, their hand flows up here. Block, swing, boom, and come down, all right? Block up here. They're here, all right? You flow it. Now you've already hurt them. You block them coming down here, something might break. If not, they're lucky. Then you just pull over this way so after you hit them, all right? That's a nice little 1, 2, 3. Can't get any more basic than that. And these are little type exercises that you can practice and practice over so that when you have to use, like I say, if you're in a car or even if you're walking your dog through the woods or you're walking at night or whatever, and you can have a little stick like this. It's a walking cane. Right? Look at it. Someone wants to attack you, or somebody, even an animal comes over, right? Now all of a sudden, if someone was coming at me, or just picture this, you're walking and someone's coming at you and, give me your money, whatever they want. And all of a sudden you came in this way in a fighting stance. They're going to say, uh-oh, I think I made a mistake with this guy. He's not just using the walking stick to walk. All right? So from here, I know that if I was the bad guy, I'd go, oh, I made a mistake. But if you're here, all right, and you do the block, you wait for them, all right, I'm just saying that they're coming at you hard. Normally you wouldn't wait. If they want to pursue their coming at you, and they're not like have a stick. They don't have a stick. Now you can use this just straight in. As they come in, whoa. You get hit with this on the face or the jaw, you're going to break things. You're going to knock them out. All right? And if you have a stick around the house, and a broomstick or whatever, just touch yourself very lightly, and you're going to see the lightest hit causes a little pain. What happens when you come full throttle? Right? All right. So they come in, bow, block, push over, in, come back, up. All right? See how I can add over and over and over. Combination, all basic. From here, up. All right? From here, in. All right? Block, flip, in. Up, all right? Back up, all right? So once you have the stick out, you're ready for another move. So practice your moves at home, all right? See how it's a flow, all right? It's a flow, all right? When you have your stick, you have a lot of control this way, all right? When we start here, all right, there's less control and you have to work on that. But this right here, a lot of control. at the very early stages of your training. Okay? So what you want to do is think about situations in the mirror. And as I say, if you have a friend that comes over and, well, let's see if I do this, and I beg that you don't go crazy with each other. Because people go, oh, I'll do a light block, and then they do this, and pop them in the eye, You really have to pay attention. All right, so think of situations of someone coming in, or situations or different combinations, all right, that you want to use. And there's a few nice combinations, all right, where you can come back up and you're hitting all parts of the body, all right? You hit to the head. You come back and you swing down under the legs. You can trip them right up, or you're hitting them in the calf. So you come in, bah, bah, boom, right? One. Scoop the leg, all right? Come back. Now, notice I'm going slow, and I can make up any kind of move I want. All right? I can extend, or I can keep it close. All right? You're in your house, in the mirror, outside in your backyard. Think of different combinations. All right? You put this in your hand, and as I said, I'm going this way right now. I can go this way. All right? And you get another whole variation. Then you swap. All right? If you swap, what I like to do is make sure, if I'm a righty, my dominant, I'm a righty. If you're a lefty, then that's your dominant hand. If I'm going to go opposites, all right, instead of this way, if I'm going to, I want to kind of attack with that hand. This is what my strength is, just like your punch. Right? I can use this as almost my jab. Right? We're boxing. Bah, come on. Bah, bah, boom. All right? Boxing, and boom. All right? We're here. Bah, bah. All right? The great thing about this, keep it longer if you want. Right? Bah. Someone wants to come at you and this is coming in their face. It's hard for them to come in. It is hard because this is coming in straight. They want to block, they're going to hurt. They don't want this touching their body at all. Excuse me. And it's legal. A stick is legal to have in your car. Problem is, it's not legal if you start using a weapon. You're the bully, or you're causing the infraction, say. But if this is in your car and you pull it out and somebody's coming after you, what a beautiful little weapon, and it's free. You can buy it. I bought this one. This is flanged on both sides. And I keep it nice and light. I use this with Grandmaster Pelletier. We do a whole form and a whole formal free sparring with this. And we keep it short. You can get them longer, but then you have more to handle, and so it might be a little heavier. All right? This is flanged on both sides. All you need is a dowel, a regular dowel, which won't be flanged, but you can flange it yourself. Or you can buy them. You can buy it on Amazon, anything you want, in any size. So, as I say, and they have them that are completely covered. They're completely covered with a foam, and the inside's a plastic. So you really can't. You can hurt. It hurts when you get hit, even with the foam. But you're really not going to, do too much damage if there's a mistake as you're training. All right. So those are good training methods. All right. So as easy as this is, all right, you'll want to stay in your fighting stance. All right. I'm gonna go this way now. All right. I'll get more mobility. All right. What you do is you just bring your hands around. All right, and just feel. All right. Feel what you can do with your arms. All right. As I say, you can throw a kick after any of these moves. Or if you're here, you just throw a front round kick and then wait, and then you do an attack. So we won't do any kicks today. But once it's in your hand, whether it's this way or this way, get the feel of what positioning you could hit with, all right, in different styles, and just keep going and just say, wow, all right, I like I like this move. I like this move. I like this move. I like that. Put a whole thing together. You're coming around. You're spinning around. You're attacking. You're blocking. So you can block with the middle or both sides when it's coming this way. And then you're coming in with the attack. You've blocked, then you're coming in with any kind of attack to the body. All right? When the more you practice that same, and practice the same move at least 10 times each session, okay? So if you got a certain move that you like, practice 10 times at least. Then do the opposite side 10 times. The opposite side, especially if it's not your dominant side, you're going to feel weak. And when I say it's going to feel weak, it's almost like batting, golfing. You're strong with your right because you're a righty. Put it the opposite, and you can't even get any kind of swing. You know, golfing, because you don't do it. This dominant hand is the strength, and it'll carry the other hand around. All right, it'll carry the other hand around, but it'll do most of the work, and that's okay. But if you practice both sides just in case, so that you want to feel, all right, what it's like, even with the weak side. Same thing when we do our kicks, or we do any of our punches or our hand attacks. My right hand is always the strongest. Then my left hand, I practice it anyway, so that I'm ready to use that just as much. Same with my legs. All right, and it's just not going to be as strong. But if my right hand is always the strongest, and I never use my left, and I injured my arm or I injured my shoulder, and I can't use it as much, or I'm in a battle or a fight, and I can't use it, then if you've practiced with your left, all right, you can use it because you have some kind of practice with it. So 10 on your right. When you do your right, then go 10 on your left, all right, with any of these exercises, all right? So let's just recap. It's almost, we're 20 minutes into the show. I just started. All right, we're here, all right? And walk around, do some footwork, all right? All right? Come on. You sure you want to attack me now? All right? Boom. See? So it's like, midsection, right? High section, then low section, then uppercut, all right? You get hit with the knees are going to buckle, all right? A lot of pain, all right? So it's not like you got to, and you've got some more distance. See the distance I have here? Look at it. I gave myself another 2 feet. Right? So my opponent's at a great disadvantage if he doesn't have any kind of weapon, all right? A lot of times you can practice, 2 people have a pole, stick. That's why the rubber ones are good if you're going to practice. And they attack you, then you come back down, then you attack them. And if you do practice with someone, a lot of times arm pads are good. You got to go out and buy them, but just in case, all right? Because even with the arm pads, Grandmaster Pelletier and myself, we do our formal free sparring. And our formal free sparring lasts a good 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. And we use poles, sticks, knives, whatever we're using. Even with the pads on, we're all bruised up sometimes, all right? Right through the pads. But if you didn't have the pads, now you're really going to get bruised up. So my thing is safety with martial arts. If you're not hurt, you'll come back tomorrow and train again. If you're hurt, you're taking tomorrow off and maybe the next day and maybe never come back. You don't want to get hurt. So that's the number one rule in Tae Kwon Do or any sport. Don't get hurt, all right? Just a little shout out for this shirt. This is, I don't know if anyone has seen some of my shows, even podcast, Major Battle. He was one of the greatest fighters in New England. And he just got a line of shirts. This is him doing a scissor kick. And he would do that at tournaments, break boards or whatever. So I got a couple of shirts and I figured I'd put them on the show for Major. Give him a little shout out, okay? All right, so you're in a left fighting stance, practice your blocks, all right? Practice your blocks. Get your arms, and then work work on some attacks. Boom, right here, right, block, here, block, here, block, right, side block. When you do a side block, kind of turn your body just a little, right, right, boom, right, bah. If someone's throwing a punch this way, and you did the block, you're coming right up. Look at, I'm coming right up under their chin. It's devastating, and a lot of people look and they'll watch people on YouTube, or they'll see tournaments, and they're going crazy and they're spinning these things around. I'm not going to let it leave my hands in this studio. That's fun to do. You can practice it, and there's all different little exercises you can practice. You get that thing spinning, but do the basics when you start. Just do the basics. Put it in your hand, get used to it. All right, it's an unsung art. So easy to do. You can have your stick wherever you want to go. Going hiking, you're going up a mountain, you're going hiking. Everyone wants a stick to go try find one in the woods. You bring your own. Name it, Betsy. If you need to put a little tape or something, put a little tape on it. Make better grip. But your confidence level, when you have something like this in your hand that's legal, it's pretty good. Right? 2 people, 3 people want to attack you. You're here. Good luck to the first one that comes at you. All right. So, and you tell them, the first one comes at me, I'm taking them out with this. All right. Pow, pow. You come in here, hit someone here, hit someone here. 3 directions. All right. Better than not having a weapon or having a stick. As they say, you can get it free. All right. This is probably this is a little longer than a mop handle or a broom handle, so but if you're a small kid, it'd be perfect. All right. As I say, a lot of people like the head high, the big bows, staff and stuff. That's fine. You can do that any size you want. This is about as small as I would go for myself, anyway. But we have the big ones at the school. We use them also, but for the show, this is something that I want you to, and you see how easy it is to handle, right? It's real easy to handle, all right? And the amount of attacks, all right, and the amount of technique you can do with a stick like this is just infinite, and the amount of combinations. And as you just feel comfortable with it, as I say, you put it in your hand, you start feeling comfortable. And if you have a heavy bag in front of you, boom, boom, you're going to feel, all right? You're going to feel all the hits on that heavy bag. And that would be a human being trying to attack you. A lot of countries will say, we invented. All right, no one invented this. No really country. A lot of countries have certain sticks, different things that they do with them in different styles. But Okinawa, Japan, China, United States, everyone has their own different ways. I mean, many thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, they were using these and they probably have weapons on them, but they were using these to protect themselves because they didn't have guns, they didn't have arrows, they had sticks, and they learned how to use them really well. And there's so many things on YouTube, all right, with bow staff, and you'll be amazed. Even little children, how they're flying around with these things. So the more you do it, the more you practice, the more you can handle it, the more you can start doing all kinds of little exercises, all right, as I'm doing them slow in here, little exercises to get your body ready for grabbing. And as you're doing these exercises, you have to remember, you're getting in shape. You're moving around. You're moving this thing. It's a constant movement, all right? So your body's getting in shape. Now, after you do them, you start doing some kicks. You start doing some jump kicks, all right? You hit. You do a reverse round kick. You do another kick. You hit. You're like a machine, all right? You're a machine going at your opponent. And the more balance you get, and again, you want to stay in balance. I mean, you could always attack. You have this in your hand. You can attack this way. Look at it. But now you're going to be off balance. Be here. Be able to move. They're coming at you. You can always move back, all right? Be able to move side to side and to the front as you're coming to attack them. And it's almost like a balancing stick. You know, you ever see the high wire act and they're walking on the high wire? This is to balance them. Well, this is your balancing stick right here. Notice I'm keeping it shoulder width apart. I'm not keeping it out here. I'm not keeping it in here. All right? There's little things you can do for exercises like this also, but we're not into that tonight. I'm keeping it shoulder width apart, trying to keep it almost exactly on each side. It's balanced. All right? And by this being balanced, it makes my movements balanced because, you know, I'm not favoring one side. All right? I'm doing both sides. Once again, do both sides. If you're going to practice, even if it's just the basic, all right? Even if it's the basic, practice both sides. Again, if you golf like this every day and only did this 1,000 shots, whoa, you'd be good. But your hips and all your muscles would develop in the wrong way. Then you got to go back and forth. So if you're a golfer or a baseball player and you just keep doing this all the time on your right, you're going to develop bad posture and bad muscle. So you've got to do the opposite. Even though it's not going to be as perfect, do the opposite so that you get yin and yang and right and left. You know what I'm saying? And your muscles will develop even. You won't have one big side and one small side. It's about all the time we have on this show. Hope you enjoyed this show. Till next time, have fun and train hard.